What's up, Juggalos? It's TJ. You're watching CarnivalSpirits. Today's Tuesday, so it's my turn to talk about daily spirits. And this week, PANIK wants to know what we think of Wade the Juggalo from Grand Theft Auto 5. Honestly, I haven't played it. I'm a little bit out of touch with current games, but those video responses from Demonic and Krazie were fucking awesome. And I saved them inside of the Daily Spirits playlist. Now, the last Grand Theft Auto game that I've played was Vice City, and that was like a decade ago when it was new. I was living in Salem, Mass, and it was around that time that I had moved out to put work first, and I kind of lost touch with gaming culture. But prior to then, my roommates got me addicted to games like Tony Hawk. I liked Resident Evil, and of course later in life I did get an Xbox, and then I upgraded to an Xbox 360, and I've been recently getting into games like The Force Unleashed 1 and 2. I like to play Halo 4, and I've even dabbled with certain Guitar Hero games. It's pretty fucking awesome. You know, my best friend has told me that, in his opinion, the best, shooter game is Army of Two. I think the new one's called Devil's Cartel. Whatever the case, my best friend is kind of one of my biggest influences for getting into certain games. We used to tear it up with Mario Kart, back in the day, Nintendo 64. We grew up together. And he ended up moving to Florida, and down there he became a fucking pro. His roommate used to kick ass on Halo all the time. Like, he just played constantly. He was a professional gamer, I guess. And what Tommy did was he would always play with his roommate and get his ass kicked all the time. But it got him so good that when other people came by to play this dude, Tommy could pretty much kick all of their asses. The only person he couldn't beat was his roommate. Now, I can't fucking beat anybody. I fucking suck at games. And that's part of the reason why it was easy for me to distance from them. But, I've been playing these games for so long now that I kind of take for granted, how much a part of my life games have been. I did start off getting a Nintendo when I was young. I never had an Atari, but I did get myself a Game Boy when that shit first popped off. And if you guys don't know, there were also these handheld Tiger games that were pretty fresh, whether it be motorcycles or race cars, shit like that. But I used to play computer games, and I remember a few cool ones like, Oregon Trail, or Where in the World is Carmen Electra, Prince of Persia. If you guys have ever played Doom, Wolfenstein, and then I got into Myst. And in '99, I started playing Ultima Online just to kill time with my friend Jamie Varmette in between classes when I was in college. And that kind of reminds me of today's social networking games like, Farmvilles and Facebook fish tanks and shit, which are highly addictive and pretty trendy. I've tried a few of them, but I always tend to enjoy seeing friends play games. So these games that are just, for, raising crops and shit, I kind of lose interest in that because, like I said, I'm not really good at games, but playing games that, that you can't lose, I also kind of lose interest. I remember beating Contra, Super Mario Brothers, but that's about it. Every other game I had problems, so I would eventually get sick and tired of fucking losing all the time. Recently, I've been playing free games on my iPad. While you're all playing Grand Theft Auto 5, I'm playing Probe the Humans and Simpsons Tap Out, which is basically just like a Farmville type game for Simpsons characters, and I'm building the whole Springfield town. I'm giving them all assignments and raising money and donuts and It's pretty fucking cool, and I like doing it because after work, when I'm wired, but I'm also physically tired. It's nice to just do something that's brainless, and it's awesome how it's got like the real Simpsons voices, and I really enjoy Simpsons cartoons, so the game is just kind of like quirky and full of nostalgia, and it's so this is leading me to, I guess, the next part of this Daily Spirits. Excuse me. The topic of this week is what kind of game would I like to see if it was a Juggalo game, and I thought it would be fucking fresh if there could be some sort of, Juggalo-inspired digital dirtball app, just like the Simpsons Tap Out or any other type of games like that. And don't get me wrong, I like wrestling games. In fact, I fucking got them, and I played them, but the thing about that is, there are a lot of different wrestling games, and they're always coming out with more and more. They're always getting better and better. Recently, I just played WWE 13. It's fucking phenomenal, and unless KG can match that, any Juggalo wrestling game that comes out is going to have to come correct with like details of characters and storyline to make up for superior moves and shit. But, that shit exists already. So, it really would, a game that would be, appealing to me would have to have characters, and just imagine them straight out of the Quest for Shangri-La. For those of you who need help picturing, who to substitute for all the people that you build in your world, right? But you talk about Juggalo Paradise. I mean, there could be epic levels where you could just be all fucking scar-faced out in your own island fucking mansion, or a fucking fun house, or like an outhouse with an inside mansion, like in Big Money Rustlers. Start off in Detroit, fucking, takes time. And then when your characters earn money or Faygos or whatever, you can use them to advance through the River of Blood and the Nether Void. And, honestly, Shangri-La and Hell's Pit are just exhibits of one Joker's card. So imagine the possibilities of, peppering a game like this with the lore of the Dark Carnival. The Wraith is just one of fucking out of 2 decks. ICP's not even done making music, so there's a lot of opportunity for anecdotes, sketches, for missions, and bizarre achievements that you could rack up in this, Juggalo Dirtball app. And I'll tell you this, my favorite game out of all the Juggalo games that exist, like, I love those wrestling games, but Grand Theft Auto is fucking superior as fuck. And I can say that about Vice City. That was the last one I played. I fucking loved it. It was such a fucking awesome throwback to the 80s. I grew up in the 80s, so, all the references, all the jokes, all the parodies, all, everything from, when you're listening to the radio, you could hear them playing like Iron Maiden and shit, and that was awesome, racing around. Like, I used to just fucking waste time in that game, not even doing the missions, and just having a blast, crashing cars, stealing cars, having to chase the cops chasing you around. So while games are getting more and more and more detailed and more realistic, I wouldn't mind taking a step back to anywhere from Vice City and before, or, now like the Simpsons Tap Out game just shows me what's capable, even if it was like $5 on your fucking iPhone or iPad, to have a game that was, chock full of all this freshness for juggalos who are into that type of shit. I certainly would be into that, and if it wasn't just like an app game, and we're talking about a real console, like, Sony PlayStation 12 or, Xbox, 360 degrees, which won't even play my old backyard wrestling Xbox games because it's like an outdated platform, which is some bullshit. I would say that, again, with storylines inspired by the Joker's cards, and the power of Malenko, or the surprise of the Riddle box, and you know, the who is evil of the ringmaster, and so whatever. I'm not going to get into every single card. Obviously, you guys know where I'm going with this. There's potential for games that are in depth like that, like Grand Theft Auto. But Grand Theft Auto is really violent, and maybe that's what it needs to be, like Grand Theft Auto Detroit Murderous. That would be fucking cool. But really, the games that I do better at, so I enjoy more, are the ones that are like racing games. Tony Hawk was my favorite. So imagine some sort of, I guess, ability to skateboard, but couldn't you just combine those? Grand Theft Auto on a fucking skateboard would be the fucking shit. So that's my daily spirits, and for everybody out there who's making video responses, you guys are the shit, and they are going in our playlist. So, check the fucking links for the playlist and enjoy. So, stay tuned for Crazy Eye coming up tomorrow. Like I said, I'm BstMstR. See ya. Wouldn't want to be it.